Hey there, Valerie. How you doing? It's Nakimbe. I feel so badly that I said I was going to do a video for you, and I want you to know I thought about you every single day that I've been here. Every day I was feeling a little bit guilty, thinking I'm supposed to make this video for Valerie to tell her about her visual plan. Anyway, I'm just going to read it. It's just an informal video. Video is, like I told you, one of the things I want you to start really incorporating in your business. So you can just start playing around when you're shopping or whatever. If you have a thought, just pull out your camera and record it just so you can get used to it. So I'm just going to read some of these notes. I don't even remember necessarily what I wrote, so we're just kind of going to go through them together. So I think the first thing, I was just making some notes here about talking about the ingredients that you put in your products, and you know, what's the big deal? For example, everyone's like, oh, there's shea butter in this, or there's, you know, coconut oil in that, but what does that really mean? Like, who cares? And I think if you can produce content that goes a little bit deeper, and you know, you can start to position yourself as an influencer, and not just somebody who's selling products, but like a knowledgeable expert in this area. And it's like, yeah, buy my product because the product is good and I know what the hell I'm talking about, you know. So you're educating people, or what we like to call edu-selling. So if you can start to talk about it, we're going to start to create content. We're, whoever's going to start to create content around what does it really mean to be natural. And sometimes, for example, you can just have 5 or 10% of something and call it natural and have all these other things, and you know what I mean. So just even little BuzzFeed-esque, you know, 10 things you didn't know tips from you, those would go viral. It has nothing to do with your particular product, but it brings attention to your product. It's called sponsored content. So you're producing content, you're not talking about your product, but you're just producing content about, hey, be careful when you're buying products, if it says natural, this is what it might really mean. And at the end of that video is like, bling, brought to you by Light It Up with your thing. So that's something that can go viral, and you're not pushing your product down people's throats. So that's one of the things I was talking about. These are notes. You mentioned something about them being handmade, and oils and candles and soap. Okay, so I think that those are just notes that I was writing, and then things that you had told me you really want to get into the do-it-yourself space. I think that's a great idea because you can create video content for that. You can create audio content for that in a podcast, and you can create written content from that. So I have like this, like I am all into triangles and this sort of triune and this triad, or whatever you want to call it. But I believe that you have to have video, audio, and written content for everything that you do, and that instantly gives you 3 times more things to share in different ways and in different places and in different spaces for different people, however they like to consume their information. So anyway, I think that do-it-yourself is a really good space. I want to look at your price point. I noticed that bath bombs weren't selling, or perhaps you said that, so I'm thinking about timing, or this has nothing to do with your marketing plan. If it does, I'll just say I'm just kind of making notes right now. Shea butter, where it's from. When I was in Ghana and I got some shea butter, there were women, and I have pictures there on the ground, and they have these big melting pots and, you know, these sticks, and it was some women's development fund or whatever. So you could even start to talk about social justice issues, or women's issues, or helping women in impoverished places, and that way you're also getting into a whole other audience that cares about those issues. And if they care about those issues, and you care about those issues, and you represent your product, then you know you're getting more exposure for yourself again. And it's not just about selling your product, it's about providing information, being an influencer, and providing content that is of consumable value. Yeah, that's right. Okay, you've got home parties and reps, that's great. Summertime, great. You've got your beard oil, great. I think every July you tell people what the new line is. You talked about the seasonality of your business, which we can probably try to capitalize on and find out ways to get people interested in the low, quote unquote, low season. For example, you know, during hurricane seasons, I'm out here in Jamaica, you know, no one really wants to go on vacation. Their business is seasonal. So what do you do to bring people in other times of the year so you keep having revenue come in? You just have sell-offs, or you offer at a discount price. You know, it might not be the greatest condition. It might rain 3 out of the 7 days that you're there, but you have 4 good days, and you're willing to pay half price, so you win and the the resort wins, you know what I mean? So we have to look at the seasonality of your business and figure out during the low periods what are some promotional things that you can do to streamline your business a little bit. Yeah, this is my job. Doesn't it suck to sit on the beach with internet and make videos and help people with their marketing? Doesn't it just suck? Yeah. Oh yeah, anyway, the beard, holy crap. I think the beard, and that's another thing, you got a lot of things going on. We have to sort of streamline your business. We have to pick one thing, and we got to like get a really strong foundation and have it excel and let it be able to run on its own. There are just too many cogs and wheels going on right now. So I'm saying that because I think the beard oil is a really good thing that you, like you said, you can completely capitalize on right now. I think you should create a marketing campaign. Think about several different marketing campaigns that you could create around beards. So you'd create a marketing campaign for men who already have beards, men who are thinking about getting beards, things to think about when you're getting a beard, things that could happen that you didn't know are surprises when you had a beard, like it gets drier or it starts to itch or whatever. You know, you would have to do that research unless, and I highly advise you to hire our people so that you can run a business and not try to be a marketing agency. But yeah, have all those different campaigns and have those articles and questions and stuff. But yeah, so you'd have a campaign for men with all those different questions. You should also have a campaign for young men who are starting to grow beards and start to maybe hook them, because they can't necessarily go into like a Shoppers Drug Mart and just pick a beard product. You know, they're just starting to think about getting beards. So once you capture them as customers now, you may have them for customers for life, right? That's also going to have to, you're going to also have to make like a different line, and I'm sure you're going to know different positioning. You can't have girly frilly colors on a beard oil line, right? Another whole campaign you could do around that would be for women and women who like to dress their men. Here I am on this vacation at my brother's wedding, and we were teasing one of my uncles that, you know, this new woman that he's with has him dressing really nicely. And then my other aunts were like, oh yes, no, and if you're going to be out with me, you got to make sure you look right. And it's just funny to hear their conversation. And this is why I just say I am marketing. Like everything for me, I see as a marketing experience. Oh look, the sun is rising. It's so beautiful. Anyway, yeah, so it'd be like women, you know, don't forget to dress your man, or women, you know, if you're not doing this, you're not dressing your man completely, or women, you know, does Susie's man look better than yours, and this is why. And it's like the shade, it's like the little things, it's like the little details, you know, and women like details. You could do a whole play on, it's the little things, the minor things that people don't notice that are still noticeable. Ooh, there's a tagline right there. You can have that. It's the little things people notice that aren't really noticeable. There you go. That's a sexy line. That's a sexy line you can use in your marketing. But yeah, so that way you would be getting women to buy. You'd be getting women to buy the beard oil for their men, because they're more likely to do that than a man. Men don't even change their like underwear until it turns into a string. You know that cliche joke. Haha, I just had to throw it in there. But yeah, do it for women, and then you have a whole target market right there. You know, it's like, this is why your man's better than his, or whatever the hell. You can totally do a play on that. You can again do more things with the ingredients, how to pick a good. You could do like other beard oil reviews, where you read up on different reviews for different products and different forums, and hear what people are saying, what they're liking, and just put up a little sheet. And that way when people are looking for that online with their Google search, and keyword research is going to be very important for you, Valerie, to figure out what terms people are looking for that want to buy your product, and making sure you're using those words in your videos, in your subject lines, in your headings, in your content, in your tags. Like, you got to know what the keywords are if you are going to get in front of the audience that is looking for your product and using these keywords. If you don't even know what those keywords are, you will never be able to show up where they are. They will never find you, and you will stay small in business, which is not what you want, right? And again, I want you to run your business. There's way too much marketing stuff for you to do on your own. You really should hire us. If you can't, you can't. It will just take you longer to get where you want to go, but everything I'm going to give you in this video and in the written component, you can totally execute on your own. You can totally execute on your own, you know. It will just be 100 times more successful with Mappdom doing everything for you, just because of our expertise and everything like that. But anyway, so that's that. I would definitely focus on the beard oil line first. Beards, light it up. Oh, I think you were talking about how many people you have on email and how many people you have on Instagram. It's about 100 followers. So we're going to want to increase that. So I think, again, you've been doing a really good job with your social media. I think getting Instagram and Pinterest is a really good way for you to get out there. I would definitely do quote cards, and those are like just banners, pictures, not a lot of words, like pictures with a quote, and it's going to have to be high quality. I find that small business entrepreneurs and small business people, they do their own social media and they don't have money, so they just go on Photoshop or something and they do this banner on their own and they post it, and it looks so horrible. It looks so amateur, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money to do a good job. You just have to know where to go. You have to understand branding, you have to understand fonts, you have to understand colors, you have to understand angles, you have to understand so much more than you could ever possibly know to create a banner. And that's just one teeny tiny little aspect, not even thinking about ad copy and using the right words and call to actions and short codes. Like, don't even think about it, because we know it all. Don't even think about it. Mappdom knows it all. Just let us do it. But yeah, good job with your Instagram stuff. A whole lot of opportunity there for you for virality and stuff. You could go to couples. I think I was suggesting this to one of my another business. Anything that has to do with like couples. And I don't know if you're just in the black market, but you know, black couples or whatever, and do an article about couples and then somehow circulate that, and it might get picked up by another blog and it'll bring more exposure to your product. Like, I'd have to flesh that out more in my head, but definitely something like that. Themed gift baskets. Also, you could do a tagging woman thing where it's like, you know, once a month you tag a woman. Like, because you know what? This is how this idea came about. I have a lot of girlfriends who I love, and life is busy, and I don't have time to contact them all the time, but I love them. And if I could just send one friend a $20 gift pack a month, like one to my friend Angela, one to Tanya, I'm thinking about you, I love you, I know we don't get to talk, but here's a care pack. And if you get women to sign up for that and do a whole campaign around that, it's like, hey, sign up for this thing. Like, they have these send a card MLM things or whatever, so it'd be similar to that. Like, sign up for this thing, pick 12 women in your life, and they could be like international. Think about how nice that would be. And then, you know, of course you're gonna put the shipping and handling costs, you're gonna work that into the price, right? But for X amount of money, and you can pick a theme, and oh man, that would be so great. That would actually probably go really viral. How to solve, do everything first. Oh, the whole love theme. The whole love theme you could really play on. That's a differentiator for you in terms of a candle or a product, because again, I always try to think of myself as the toughest consumer, and I like candles and I like natural body stuff, but I'm not necessarily going to buy it. So why not? Because it's not a priority in my life. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes I will. If I go to a thing, I'll definitely support black business, but sometimes if I just need something quickly and I'm lazy, I might run into Walmart or Shoppers Drug Mart, right? But if I knew that your product had a little bit of love in it, because don't we all want love? And then you could also do little business cards where you could actually sign your name, and of course it'd be a photocopy, but I gotta go because we are leaving at 6:30 and my bus leaves at 8, but I promised I would do this. You could sign every little one of them. It could be Love Valerie. And then you could request on this card, did you love this experience? Please share it with someone else, and then ask for referrals, and if they give you 10 referrals, they get a discount or something like that. Or you can also send love electronic coupons, girls, friendships who are targeted, loved, been neglected, anonymous. Oh yeah, anonymous ones are having a rough time. Send a little bit of love. I'm thinking of you. Here's some love. Love, light it up. Coupon, go online. Oh, here's a coupon. Go online and order now. There's a 50% discount if you use this electronic coupon within 48 hours. Go pay for yourself. Love. Do it once a month. Who are you sending this to once a month? Oh yeah, who are you sending love to once a month could be like a question. Wow, okay, there's way more, and I have to go and eat. I actually, 4 more minutes? I said I was going to stay till 6:30, so. Sorry, this is your paper here. Can you see it? Can you see it? I don't even know how to do this that way. But anyway, yeah. Maybe this doesn't have to do with you. I would do some stuff on Amazon. Amazon is huge right now. Amazon is huge. Do Amazon, and I would also do something on eBay. And it's not even about those things selling all the time. It certainly can. People can find you that way. So definitely get on Amazon, definitely get on eBay. But also importantly, you can usually include your URL, like http://www.liteup.com. You can usually include that in your description somewhere, and those websites have a lot of quote-unquote credibility online. So if your link is on their website, Google sort of sees you as like a reputable website, and it increases your page reputation and or your page rank. So again, when people are searching for candles and Google is like, oh my gosh, there are like 12 million freaking candle websites. Which one am I going to show this poor sucker? I told them I'm going to show him the results in 0.004893 seconds, and like I have a million candle websites to choose from. I got to show them 10 on the first page. Which 10 am I going to choose? You know what? I'm going to choose the best ones. Okay, who has the best reputation online? Boom, these 10. That's why having your website linking into a lot of other websites, which is something called link building, which is again something you could do on your own, but you really shouldn't. You really should let Mappdom do it. It's the experts. Anyway, I got to go. But these are the first off the top of my head thoughts that I just jotted down. Like I said, there's the rest of the notes. I will try to read this to you in the airport. If not, you'll just get the rest when I get back. I'm sorry. This is not even a suspense tactic, but that usually does work. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but one of the things, Valerie, we talked about, you've been doing this for 17 years, and you can continue to do it for another 17 years and just kind of retire okay, and not necessarily live a life like this, which I know is what you've been working hard towards for you and your family. In order to do that, you're going to have to think like a business and a corporation. You're going to have to think about scaling and growing, which means you cannot wear all the hats. You cannot be doing everything by yourself all the time. You have to be the CEO of your company. You have to think about growth. You have to think about business development, partnerships. You have to think about those things, not marketing, not, posting on social media, spending hours and hours posting on social media to an audience of 100 is not the best use of your time. We're going to grow you into a huge corporation and a huge, huge success. Again, I'm going to give you the plan, and you can go and do it on your own. I would highly advise you not to do that. I would advise you to let Mappdom do it for you. Anyway, I got to go, but it's been a pleasure talking to you. Bye. Mwah. Nakimbe out.